Hey, this is Professor Lilly. We have 4 more days of class, and so I just wanted to go over a few things for you to be aware of. I could put in an email, but I thought I'd just go ahead and do a video to show you some things. Um, I was going to do a video of my face too, but I'm all stuffed up, or a stuffy nose, because we got a couple kittens to keep the kids occupied. You probably hear them playing in the background, but I'm a little bit allergic. Okay, so let's get to it. One thing I wanted to say is make sure you watch your critique. So I think I have 1 or 2 more of these to grade, but most of you should have a grade for this for your critiques, and if not, then you will by the end of today or tomorrow. And yeah, so each group, you have 4 or 5 people critiquing your blogs and giving you, or your blog posts, and giving you some ideas of things to work on and what you're doing well. So, they took the time to do the critique. So please watch them, and you're able to think more about your writing and your blog. Um, with that in mind, if you haven't watched that video that I made where I go through and look at a couple student sites and talk about common issues like making sure you edit and use AP style when you're writing, which is general for journalism and advertising and PR as well. Um, and making sure you have a good lead or topic sentence. Lead is what we call it if you're teaching a journalism class, but establish what the topic of the blog post is in the early, like, 1 sentence or 2, so that the reader becomes your blog, understands, oh, okay, this is what this particular article is going to be about. Things like that. So it's just very important. Touches on a lot of things. Okay, so in terms of grades, don't forget. Last time I taught this class, I had a student or two forget to turn in your writing exercises. So those were the exercises that I talked about at the beginning of the semester that you could submit anytime, and a couple people have already submitted them just as a Word doc, dropped in here. Do the last day of class like everything else, which is Thursday, really Thursday night by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And those exercises are right here. So it's just 10 exercises encouraging you to kind of think outside the box and get experience, like observing and how to put observations into your articles and things like that. So don't forget to turn those in right here. I sent an email out about the final project that you have 2 options for. If you choose the reflection paper, which basically just means that I am reading it, then you drop it in here. If you choose now, just to let you know, and so those are supposed to be about diversity issues that you are thinking about, or an issue. But I mean, if you want to write about kind of a diversity issue and put it on your blog, that's fine. And that could be your final project as well. Make sure if you choose the blog post option, put final project in the title so that I know that's your final project, because this is a separate grade. It doesn't count as one of your 13 blog posts. It's a separate grade, so I need to know which one on your blog is your final project if you choose that option. So remember, though, that it doesn't count. So every once in a while, I've taught this course, I think 5, maybe 6 times, and every once in a while I have a student who is thinking of the blog post as part of their 13. In the regular semester, it's more. It's 16 that you have to submit, but for the compressed semester, I said just 13 plus. What do I mean by plus? Please, if you want to, write more. I mean, some people, you've been churning along, so put more, and that will be impacted. Let me show you the rubric for this assignment, which is really half of your grade. 50% of your grade is your blog posts. So here we have the first criteria, 13 blog posts, and also making sure you had the first 5 in on time, that deadline. And so if you're able to achieve that, then really it's more like a 94%. So A minus is maybe not the way to think about it. I think this comes out to be a 94, and that's what goes in the grade book. So you're getting pretty much a solid A for doing the 13 posts and meeting the first 5 deadline. But then if you go overboard, and actually I'm going to change this. I'm going to say just if you do one extra, so 14, then you get 11 points. But I mean, that doesn't really mean anything. It's more like you get the full points for this, which is 100%. So if you think about it, a lot of professors, if they give you an A in the actual grade book, that might translate to a 96, which is a solid A. But in this case, doing one extra, again, I'll change that and I'll say 14, is 100% on that criterion. Then you're going to be looking at the writing quality, particularly of your last few posts, the most recent ones, that you have a good topic or lead kind of sentence in the first, at the beginning, that you're using AP style in general. You're thinking about the flow and the narrative, then you would get full points here. Most of you are doing pretty well in terms of photos. A few of you need to think more about links. If you're going to a state park, then there's certainly going to be some good websites that people might want to look at to get more information. And so, like where you have the name of the website or the name of the park in your article, then just highlight that and make that a link to that website. There are a few topics that maybe there's just not a website associated with that, but if there are, put those links in there. In the critiques, I saw a few of you gave ideas for photo plugins, ways to make photo galleries or photo teasers, kind of enhance the photos, and that's great. And then lastly, I'm looking for kind of a range of creativity and topics. So you might have noted in the syllabus that it's pretty much the same syllabus that 2 or 3 of us who teach travel reporting right now use, because we want to keep it uniform. And it gives a list of topics to make sure you kind of hit on, like doing a kind of a topic about or article about a restaurant and one about a destination trip. And I'm pretty kind of lax on those, just because, especially this semester, when some of you are kind of still in quarantine, and so and it's not quite the same as when it's travel writing abroad. So I'm just looking for you to kind of have a range of topics. If you set up and said, I'm just going to write articles on hiking trails in this particular region, that's fine. But I'm just making sure that you don't like do the same trail over and over again, or you are kind of talking about the same exact thing over and over again. I've had in the past students who just turn in a lot of really reflective articles, not really travel writings per se. And I said, well, okay, that's fine for you to have a couple like that, but try something different too, because this class is kind of about you trying out a range of different styles, which is different than, let's say, a journalistic reporting class, which is really specific. Okay, here's the style that you have to learn. So that's what this is all about. And that's it. So that is 50% of the grade. So depending on how you do here, it really skews whatever your final grade is going to be, big time. And with that in mind, remember, this Thursday the 9th is the last day of all summer 1 session courses. So basically you have until that night to turn everything in. And I only have until the next Monday to grade everything and calculate the final grade and turn it in. So let's say you feel like you're going to be a little bit late on a couple blog posts and you need to turn in a couple on Sunday or something like that, then send me an email so I know to grade yours last, because the penalty would be bigger for not, let's say, for only having 11 blog posts, as opposed to having 13, but 2 of them are turned in a little bit late. So you just want me to know. And that's a hard deadline for me to turn in grades Monday afternoon. I have to do it. All the professors teaching the first summer course have to do it. So If you're going to be a little bit late, just let me know. There will be some penalty for that, but the penalty is a lot less than for just not turning in like the final project or something like that. So turn everything in, but if it's going to be late, let me know. And because you also want me to know, because what if I went to grade yours on Saturday and you haven't turned it in yet? So you just get a really big penalty for not turning in an assignment or not turning in enough blog posts. And again, watch those. There were a lot of, I think I said this before, but I'm almost done with grading the critiques, and there are a lot of good ones out there. So just make sure you watch your group members' critique of your own blog. If you have any questions, email me. And if not, turn everything in and have a great rest of the summer. And maybe I'll see a few of you on campus in the fall. So take care.